All right, guys. Fair is fair. You have 5 seconds. Go.
Awesome!
Lashley. My man.
Lashley.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Essential Wrestling Podcast, powered by our good friends over at the Eastern Observer. Yeah, you know what? It was a great 8 days, boys. It was a great 8 days, but I guess all good things eventually come to an end, right? Jesus. Down on the bottom part of the screen, as always, our first ever PWP champion, John the Conde. Congratulations. The Miz is no longer WWE champion.
Yay.
And I know
it was a wonderful
evening. I'm sorry, what was that, John? The guy spoke over you.
No, it was a wonderful evening. It was touch and go for a little while, but all is well that ends well.
It was touch and go. We will get into it. And the person that's right next to you on the top of the screen, who I watched the Elimination Chamber with, and I was pretty hard to deal with for about the next half hour following that. So I know John Smith has a bigger smile on his face than the rest of the four of you do.
Oh man, I haven't popped that hard for anything in a long time at home, especially by myself. And I mean, my prayers were answered. The collective wrestling fans' prayers were answered. It was just a week later than we wanted it to. But all is right with the world now.
This is episode 43 on March 2nd, 2021. On today's episode, we have a huge cage match this Friday to answer a question that was left hanging last week on SmackDown. There's a new world championship. There's a new world champion in Impact. Hashtag clickbait. It's Rich Swann still champion, but there's another one. Karrion Kross and Santos Escobar absolutely tore it down in NXT. Gary Mehaffy is back once again this week to discuss the new NXT UK Tag Team Champions that were crowned this past Thursday. Ryan Joy will be back to discuss everything New Japan. The Super J Cup brackets are out. There's about 500 people in this tournament. I know he is excited. I'm excited. I have no idea this thing's going to shake out. Ryan's going to try to do his best to break it down for us. We are going to reveal number 6 on my top 30 favorite WrestleMania matches. The countdown, we're down to 6, guys, which means we are 7 weeks away from WrestleMania. I believe Charlotte confirmed that last night as well, so our math is correct. Make sure you stay tuned to the end of the show to hear the details on how to win the Jim the Anvil Neidhart autograph picture, courtesy of Sideline Sports and WWE memorabilia. We make our picks for this week's shows. The graphics you will see, as always, presented by MinutesToBellType.com, and our picks are always presented by ProWrestlingPick'em.com. Play against your friends, play against the universe. And guys, she'll like it too. We're going to main event the show with those picks and picking AEW Revolution, a huge show for AEW. I believe this is their 8th or 9th or 10th pay-per-view event, and each pay-per-view has literally gotten better every single time. So this is looking to be an absolutely incredible show from All Elite Wrestling. But we're going to curtain jerk the show with some good news and some bad news. The good news was Miz successfully retained the WWE Championship. The bad news was he had to defend it twice. So it started with Drew McIntyre in the ring. Let me get the Raw graphic up here. Boom, just so everybody knows what show we are talking about. McIntyre came out to start the show. We took the week off last week. Miz came down right away. looking for some help. It wasn't Miz's fault that he cashed in. It was Lashley was the one that did it. If you want to blame anybody, blame him. Smart idea on Miz's part. Just deflect that. Absolutely perfect. The match was set to be happen at 9 p.m. The Miz had some stomach problems. I mean, I'm not a doctor. I've been staying at my fair none of hotels lately, but none of them were a Holiday Inn. So I don't consider myself to be a doctor here. Could have appendicitis, possibly gallbladder, maybe even turf toe. I know turf toe has been running around rampant. But needless to say, he was given an extra hour to recuperate. 10 o'clock came. The bell rang, and I don't know if Miz was doing an impressive Honky Tonk Man impersonation, or he really had to go to the bathroom. I don't know if this was a Dumb and Dumber situation, like when Jeff Daniel or Lloyd Christmas. Somebody put the X-Lax in his coffee or something. I don't know what Miz was doing, but he ran. He got counted out. It was an official match, but Shane McMahon still holding a vendetta and a grudge, even though he won that feud at WrestleMania 35. Making Miz defendant for a third time. This time in a lumberjack match, and Miz got squashed pretty quickly. Lashley made short work of him. And ladies and gentlemen, we have our new and 53rd WWE champion in the company's history, Mr. Bobby Lashley. So, gentlemen, the question is, and I will start with John Smith, because I believe John the County, you started like John Smith. Last week when The Miz won, we talked about the potential wrench that's put in the WrestleMania. Now, okay, not really a wrench, but where are we going here? We got 7 weeks. We have a pay-per-view in 2, and then WrestleMania in 7. So where are we going with this?
Well, he did a good job of twisting how things went last night to make it sound like The Miz got screwed out of his title. It was pretty funny. Oh, he had to defend it 3 times.
Yeah. Fighting champion, John Smith. Fighting champion.
that's what he was. So as far as the title picture is concerned from here forward, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar. But I mean, we haven't. All we ever do is speculate about Brock Lesnar. He shows up whenever he shows up, and everybody always says, "Oh, I knew it. We just talked about it." But we're always talking about him. So there's always somebody that just called it. But so we're either going to get that, or I think it's going to be Sheamus and Drew going after the championship against Bobby Lashley in a 3-way.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, the name Brock Lesnar, and I saw even on social media today, and granted, it's how rumors get started. I don't click on the articles, but you always see like Sportskeeda or whatever, passing through is now fans really want Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar now that Lashley is champion. I'm not going to disagree with that, but then, is this the whole thing with, McIntyre? He didn't win it last year in front of the crowd. It was robbed from him from the pandemic. John DeConnie, where are we going with this?
Yeah, I thought that that would be where we landed with they take the belt off of Drew for a quick minute and let him, have the chase at WrestleMania. But, him and Sheamus just had a fantastic match, and I'm sure as old buddies, they wouldn't mind running that back again. Like you said, Lashley and Brock has a lot of, interest in it. So last night, it was a great moment, but I don't think it clarified anything. I don't think it clarified anything even going into Fastlane. So I really think a lot of it's still up in the air. To me, nothing lays out in front of me, and I go like, okay, well, this is the next logical step. I really don't know where they intend to go.
Quick yes or no at Fastlane, or maybe put this in multiple choice. If let's just say Brock Lesnar's WrestleMania, Drew McIntyre at Fastlane might kind of hint towards, okay, well, we're getting Brock at Mania, but Fastlane, John Smith, yes or no? Is Miz getting a rematch? Just to kill time here. I'm not saying win it back, but just to kill time here.
Sure.
And to cost me 5 points in the pool, because I'm not betting against the Miz, not in a championship match. John DeConnie, is this?
For that reason, I hope so.
Staying with the Hurt Business for 1 second, they also had an impromptu Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin, John DeConnie. They had an impromptu tag team championship match apparently Shane is going for some extra schooling, benefiting himself, and doing literature and reading books that are out of Strowman's. That was an unnecessary freaking cheap shot by Shane. This is happening at Mania. I said it a couple of weeks ago. This is happening. It's going to be Braun Strowman and Shane McMahon, but he set up, communication is key, and he put him into the ring with the Scrap Daddy.
Yeah, it all started out with Braun coming down to the ring and just airing the airing of grievances. He's pissed at Shane and Postman Pierce, and it brought them both out. And after Shane, threw a couple of passive aggressive digs at Braun's intelligence, he said, "Oh, but you know what? Fine, you're gonna get a tag title match, and this guy right next to me here is gonna be your tag team partner." So we commenced with Braun and Postman Pierce versus the Hurt Business, and Braun was pretty brutal. He was ragdolling guys around the ring. He definitely had the upper hand, and then he hits his running power slam, and you're thinking, "Oh my, new champions, here we go!" And Shane jumps up on the apron and doesn't demand, but very much implies that it would be a good idea to tag in Postman Pierce. Braun, for some reason, listens to him.
Yeah,
Pierce, who didn't even bother to take off his blazer, steps through the ropes and immediately gets snatched into a small package roll-up by Shelton Benjamin, and the Hurt Business retains.
Yeah, why did Braun listen to? Yeah, and then Braun had some choice words after the fact. It was weird. They showed the graphic in the Sheamus McIntyre match that it was Braun and a mystery opponent versus the Hurt Business. It didn't say title match, but then when it became a title match, and they actually did mention it. The last time this happened to Braun Strowman, he won with a 10-year-old. Yeah. So Tyler, our beloved sheriff of the Eastern Observer, texted me right before the match is happening. He's like, "Oh my God, they're giving Braun the titles. They're giving Braun the titles again because they're taking I can't believe all right, Tyler, just relax here. Something's going to happen." But John Smith, probably a picture after your own heart right here. The Hurt Business is now officially booming, bigger and badder than it could possibly ever be right now. It doesn't get any better than this. And John Smith, I do believe it was you. Good call. MVP turned the crutch into a pretty badass looking cane.
Yeah, I think he should use that moving forward because what heel manager couldn't use a prop to hit somebody with?
Fuji.
It's not a tennis racket or anything like that, but it gets the job done.
Yeah, Fuji had a cane. You can swing a cane. You can say Fuji too on that one. Either salt of the eye or cane in the bag. It's Fuji. So one demolition the tag titles at WrestleMania 4. I think Martel's still feeling that cane shot to the back of the neck. John Smith, as I mentioned a little bit before, Drew McIntyre and Sheamus, they kicked off this thing, and that was a 3-segment match. That went at least 20 to 25 minutes. Not sure if you have minutes to bell time up in front of you. I know you usually do to get the match count on that, but that was a long match. That was a hard-hitting match. And it was, as Ryan Joy pointed out, credit to Ryan this morning on the Daily Wrestling News Show, that match was decided by a hair because McIntyre has longer legs and he hit the kick before Sheamus did.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it went. It was a hard-hitting match. Both guys were just laying into each other. They did not hold back at all. They've been friends for years, backstage and then on camera, the rivalry they've got going on. It did not disappoint. And like you said, Drew's leg is just a little bit longer than Sheamus's, and I don't see this rivalry ending anytime soon. This goes to WrestleMania, I think. Like I said, whether it's involving with Bobby Lashley with the title or by themselves, I think we're seeing this at WrestleMania.
Yeah, you can put them in matches, like I said, another match here, maybe another match, just a straight up wrestling match, and then do maybe like Last Man Standing or Falls Count Anywhere at WrestleMania. You can give them a gimmick because it's extending and it is personal. They are friends, and we are going to talk about this match with Gary when he comes on in about 15 minutes or so. So we'll get Gary. That's Gary's jurisdiction, those two guys. So we'll see what he thinks about that as well. Also on the show, Charlotte Flair made it known that she will be challenging Asuka, or going to challenge Asuka, verbally. Asuka's supposed to accept, but Asuka is apparently not talking right now after Shayna Baszler kicked her in the face, made her lose a tooth. So Asuka's got some dental work. I'm sure she'll be back fine for WrestleMania. But Charlotte had a match with Shayna Baszler, got the one with the natural selection earlier in the night. Nia Jax hit the one-arm powerbomb on Naomi in pretty quick fashion. That match went a lot quicker than I think maybe I would have given Naomi more credit for. I figured Naomi would have put on a better fight than that one. But congratulations. I think Shayna and Nia, I think they're growing up a little bit here, John DeConnie. Lana was in the ring with no help yesterday, and they let her live.
Yeah, and it's not like they had done backbreaking work leading up to it. The Nia and Naomi match was like 2.5 minutes, and the other, it's not like these were long matches, and you just were I got to hit the showers and rest. Lana was right there, right for the picking, and we seem to have moved on.
That's it. They grow up a little bit each week, John DeConnie. They're growing up a little bit each week.
One table and one bruised hole later, and everybody grows up.
Yes. There was a 6-man tag team match between the new United States champion Riddle and the Lucha House Party. They defeated Retribution members Pumpernickel, Rye, and Slapjack, sponsored by Popeye's Chicken Sandwich. After Men Elite pinned Slapjack, but then Ali went in, threw a fit. Let me show you how it's done. Called out Riddle. They had a non-title match, and then he got the win on the United States Championship. He hit some kind of weird. It was like a splash slam off the top rope. It was interesting looking. I don't think he hit it correctly. I think we'll get a better version of it going forward. Ali got the win on that one, John Smith.
I think he was going for a reverse Frankensteiner and slipped, and then just did something on the fly in midair. I don't think that is anywhere close to what the move was supposed to be.
Yeah, because it looked like a reversed Meteora. He put his knees up next to his ears from behind, but then kind of fell away from him. So
yeah,
that was a lot.
Yeah, maybe it was new. It's like literally on the fly, like they're in the air on the fly. Elias wanted to drop a single with Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny said no, or whatever. Damian Priest tried to be cool and say no, and that didn't come out right on Priest's part. But no one will remember that. Elias then had a match with Damian Priest. Damian Priest won another match with the Hit the Lights. Again, Elias put on a little bit of a match here. Damian Priest is letting these guys stick around. That's 2 weeks in a row now. He should have made quick work at Garza. Should have made quicker work of Elias. We're not really, I guess maybe I have a higher opinion of what Damian Priest should be than the people backstage do, but that's, I digress. And then Alexa Bliss, again, she is now saying The Fiend will be coming back, and that will be the end of Raw. No matches going forward, so we will shift gears to SmackDown. And Bianca Belair, we have our second WrestleMania match confirmed. Our second Royal Rumble winner has made her pick. She is picking Sasha Banks. Before she did, though, Reggie came out again. He's taking over this division on behalf of Sasha Banks. And again, Sasha came out. I told you not to speak up. I think Reggie likes getting yelled at. He's obviously a person in a position where I don't want to use the word servant because that could be taken the wrong way. Butler, in that type of, sommelier, I guess is the correct way to say it. But I think he likes he likes this out of Sasha Banks. So I think he's going to do something. Don't be shocked right now. I know we're going to be making our picks at our WrestleMania special, which will be on April 10th, whatever that Saturday is, before night 1. This is going to be a toss-up. Bianca's white hot going into this, but Reggie just seems to be stealing this story, so keep an eye on that. Last week, John DeConnie, Big E told Apollo to go back to catering, and instead Apollo went back to his roots.
Yes, indeed. Apollo dug up his family tree. He found a relation to King Jaffe Joffer of Zamunda, and that has inspired him to recreate his character, and he's not. It's kind of a no more Mr. Nice Guy thing. He attacked Shinsuke Nakamura before the bell, and Shin eventually locked in a sleeper hold, and just to show what a heel he is, Apollo used that. I think it's technically called a kente cloth, whatever that. I'm not MJF. Scarf was that he had around his neck. He used that to pull himself into the corner and knock Shin off of him, and then he was able to turn around, grab Shinsuke, hit the angle slam, and he got a nice, neat and tidy 4.5 minute win.
I really like that shade of green he's been sporting. I think that's the color of Nigeria. It's like the metallic dark green. It looks it's a really awesome shade of green. I really like this new look out of Apollo. I hope this it does well for him. Maybe Apollo gets the Intercontinental. Maybe they don't do it at Fastlane. No, God forbid they throw the Intercontinental Championship on a pay-per-view. But if they have to wait till WrestleMania for this, maybe give Nakamura the shot again, because that match didn't end well at Fastlane, and then have Big E retain going forward. So I think that'd be fun. Maybe even a triple threat at Mania. Still get Shinsuke involved. I don't have a problem with that at all. That would do the Intercontinental Championship proud. I think those three.
What about a ladder match?
You do a ladder match. That'd be awesome. Yeah.
They used to have like the 6-man ladder matches. Once they stopped doing the Money in the Bank, they did a lot of Intercontinental ladder matches.
Very true.
Especially if they have 2 nights, you have 6 matches here. I'm sure one could be a ladder. It'd be fun. Throw like Chad Gable in there. You could, there's a lot of guys in the back you could throw in there too. They're just not really.
Otis can win it by the belt falling into his lap.
They just do the whole thing over again. Seth Rollins came out. He had a promo, which was quickly interrupted by Cesaro. Rollins was shooting off Cesaro. He's athletically talented, pound for pound, the strongest man in WWE history. Blah blah blah. But he keeps falling short because he doesn't have that killer instinct, and that's what Seth Rollins wants to install into Cesaro. I've heard this before. Was this EC3 and Moose? What was the one you're missing? The killer. There's another story where killer instinct. Is that what you're missing? I don't know.
Yeah.
I forget what it is, but that's where we're going with that. But then Cesaro took Rollins for a swing, and then hit him with, I believe it was a European uppercut, and that was the end of that segment. So look for that going forward. Tamina defeated Liv Morgan. I don't want to talk about it. The Alpha Academy defeated the Mysterios again. We're not talking. No, not Liv Morgan. No, that was. I think I sent the text after that. Like, this is crap. The Alpha Academy, they defeated the Mysterios after a splash off the second turnbuckle from Otis onto Ray. Ray's ribs and chest area have been taking an absolute beating lately by this new heel Otis, who is really buying into this Alpha Academy. So it'd be interesting to see what they do with that. With WrestleMania, it's going to be interesting. John Smith, Sami Zayn actually asked to be teamed with Baron Corbin because he thinks they had good chemistry from the week prior when they defeated the Mysterios to be able to qualify for the Elimination Chamber. So he thought they were good together, even though they don't like each other.
Yeah, and Corbin did not really feel the same way at first, and he was not happy with the film crew that Sammy's got following him everywhere for this documentary. But he finally warmed up to the idea. They got into the match, and then the film crew still got in his way, and the Street Profits ended up winning the match with the big splash by Montez Ford off the top rope, off 20 feet in the air. I feel like I haven't seen them in a while, the Street Profits, but I guess it's just because they're not shoved down our throats with those belts anymore.
Sonya sidelined them until Montez got better. They wanted a shot back right at Roode and Ziggler right away, and Montez was hurt from that match, and Sonya sidelined them. Heal up, and then we'll talk about your rematch. So, yeah, this was their first match back since Montez is now 100%. But, yeah, Baron Corbin he did not like those cameras. He seems very camera shy. So, for me, I think the perfect partner right now for Sami Zayn, if you want to throw a tag team partner who's not maybe Lars Sullivan. He seems to be pretty comfortable in front of a camera. Oh,
emoji.
Gross. Now you know why I was laughing in pre-production. I thought that was...
Hey, $20 is $20, all right?
Roman Reigns did a promo at the beginning of the show. He said, he squashed Daniel Bryan at the Chamber. Now, a guy like Edge doesn't stand a chance against a guy like him. Daniel Bryan came out, says he wants a shot at Fastlane. Jay jumped him. The match was made official. As the main event, it was main event Jey Uso against Daniel Bryan. The match ended in a double countout, though. So they're going to go at it again. See, when match ends in a no count or a count out on Raw, Shane McMahon would have made him just wrestle again right away an hour later. But no, it's SmackDown. But Jey Uso and Daniel Bryan, they're going to get at it in a steel cage where if Daniel Bryan wins this match, he will get the Universal Championship match against Roman Reigns at Fastlane. Stop me if you heard this one before. Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns at Fastlane. What was that? What was the Royal Rumble that Roman Reigns won 2015? Everybody wanted Daniel Bryan to win, and then they put him in a match at Fastlane, and Roman beat him anyways. So we are doing this again 5 years later, John DeConnie. Who do you got?
Give me Daniel Bryan. I think they want to leave Edge on the sideline for now and have him build up a little animosity for some reason towards Daniel Bryan. So they're avoiding that tag match that they had floated the idea of. But give me Daniel Bryan winning this one so that no, wait a minute. That would then give him a title shot when?
Yeah, Roman. Yeah, you're right.
What would it be?
Fastlane.
Oh, okay, so yeah, that's right. The cage match is this Friday. Yeah, he gets a title shot at Fastlane. So yeah,
this would be the second time. Like I said, this was 5 years ago when everyone was upset about Roman Reigns, and Daniel Bryan kind of hinted at it. John Smith, he's like, me and you have kind of always been a comparison. Let's put it to sleep. And I think he was directly referencing that Royal Rumble where he came back, and everybody and their mother was in that Philadelphia crowd wanting him to win, and they intentionally tossed him early so they wouldn't kill Roman Reigns at the end of it. So it was.
Oh, don't get me started on that crowd. That crowd is solely responsible for a lot of garbage in in pro wrestling for the next few years. Because Roman was not over just because of that one night. Was not over anywhere he went for the next few years. I got main event Jay winning this one because I think there's one more week of SmackDown before Fastlane after that, so I think they'll have Jay win it somehow this week, and then next week Bryan will still get the shot somehow.
Okay, I'm gonna go Daniel Bryan. I think those nipped us in the bud right here. They twiddled us with once, so we'll just end it now. We'll set up a week of Daniel Bryan and Roman yelling at each other to set up for Roman winning at Fastlane. All right, gentlemen, we will bid you adieu. Go say hi to your loved ones.
Groceries.
Pick up some groceries. There we go. We are going to bring in our senior NXT UK correspondent. I hit the same screen twice. Gary Mehaffy. Gary, top of the evening to you, Milady.
Top of the evening. I'm only disappointed that it's orange juice in this and not champagne to celebrate the Miz losing his title. So just give me a wee second.
How
sweet it is.
No extra cheap shots here. Actually, I did give you one last week, though, but okay. Well, before we get started on the UK, Gar, like I said during the Raw segment, Drew and Sheamus are in your jurisdiction. Your thoughts on the match and anything else with them going forward?
Well, I mean, absolutely brilliant. I mean, for me, it literally took me back. I remember seeing them on an independent show about 16 years ago when they were just starting out. And it took me right back to seeing them then and to see where they are now. It was a really great match. I loved the way the finish played into their previous match when Sheamus had got the kick in and this time Drew got the kick in. Absolutely great match. I was surprised because at one point I had that was in my head thinking that they might head towards Mania or Fastlane with that. And then when I heard they were doing it last night and it was such a long match, obviously it's not in the plans now. Obviously, I mean Drew will be more unfortunately than Sheamus is going forward. But they absolutely, I think both of them came out of it with a lot, particularly Sheamus actually, because people have seen Drew in the last year and know he's good. And sometimes I think with Sheamus, everybody goes, yeah, he's okay. But I think when the match was over, they came out and went, that was a great match between two people who are good friends, but it was an absolutely superb match. Just couldn't speak highly enough of it. It was a great match.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, Sheamus was kind of bastardized to the tag division. Like I said, they gave him the WWE Championship. They gave him Money in the Bank and the WWE Championship. I think it was like 2000. It was 15. It was right. It was the Roman Reigns the same year, the Rumble and whatnot. But they it kind of fell flat, and they took it off him quickly. And then all of a sudden, he was with Cesaro for the next 4 years. So yeah, it was nice. I thought the Jeff Hardy feud was good. I thought that bar fight was good with him. So yeah, this is definitely a positive for Sheamus. Like I said, just go forward, give them a false count anywhere, some type of just grudge match to end it all.
Yeah.
At WrestleMania. Sticking with, so I'm going to Thursday though, Gar. We nailed it. He said if it wasn't Thursday, we don't know who it was going to be. We didn't know when it was going to be or why or how, but Pretty Deadly got it done.
Yeah, they really did. I mean, I was surprised when I was watching it because it started off slow for me, and actually, I knew you weren't seeing it live at the time, and I had messaged Ryan. And I was like, "There's something missing in this match for me, and I don't know what it is." About halfway through it, and then the second half of it, I was completely like, oh, "Okay, here we go."
Mm-hmm.
That it turned into a great match again. And as I keep saying, I feel like I'm repeating myself over and over. But it told a great story. There was a lot of good heat on both Gallus guys. It told a good story. And I say when we came through at the end, they hit spilled milk and took the pin. And it is good. It's going to freshen up the whole. It's going to freshen up the whole division, I think, and give a lot of different matches coming out of it.
Spilled milk? This is the first time I've heard them call it that or whatever they're playing. I was like, still milk? Still? Is this like a model thing? Like, where do we? I don't have any idea. Spilled milk? I don't. I guess there's no use trying, right? I guess maybe that's the story about that. But yeah, but they got before they got that the tag title. The one used it to distract the referee while the other belt was in there, and I believe it was Stoker hit the tornado DDT.
Yeah.
On Coffee onto the belt. Now you hit that pretty square on. That was a bullseye on that one. So yeah, Pretty Deadly become our fourth ever UK Tag Team Champions and our first title change since the relaunch. And this has been a couple months now, Gar. Me and you have been chatting for quite a while here, and it just seems like these champions had death grips on those titles, and it was really it took that much to pry those off Gallus, and I can't imagine what it's going to have to be to take the belt off Walter. And I guess we'll discuss Kaylee Ray because she's up next.
I think with you saying that, I do think with the fact that all the belts have been held for so long and they've been made to mean so much that actually this title change makes Pretty Deadly seem like a big deal.
Yeah,
which has been great. So.
Yeah, so there it is. They congratulations, Pretty Deadly. Lewis Howley and Sam Stoker are Beauty and the Beast Gaston aficionados. Gaston. This is Gaston. I don't know this one.
A bit like you and me, Beauty and the Beast, but I'm not saying which one's which.
No, you don't want to do that. If anybody calls you the Beast, you send them right to me. Yeah, you say there's no way. In the women's division, though, Gary, I finally had some. It was a bad week. From Wednesday up until last night, it was just a bad week. But I got one. I got Xia Brookside. She got the huge win over Nina Samuels. And the funny thing, Nina tried to use that loaded purse. Her guy, I guess he had enough of her. He wouldn't give it to her. So Nia Brooks, she had the roll up with the bridge combo. And she got the win, and a great job by Nina Samuels at the end of the show. Yeah. Walking, her heel fell off, and a bag fell over. It was beautifully done on Nina Samuels' part. This is a lot of fun. He's here, Xia Brookside. Hey, you're the one that asked for this.
I mean, it completely shocked me. I kind of thought the stereotypical way would be, oh yeah, the baddie goes over, the baddie wins, and the nice wee girl has to play up and be treated like dirt. And actually, they've gone the other way now, where they've got the nice, lovely, homely girl is now going, oh, come on. Yeah. It's like I noticed she even did a tweet during the week, which is quite funny. Nina Samuels had sent out a tweet going, can we rewind this and forget this? To which Xia Brookside responded, no, we can't. Go and wash the dishes. as if she was there in the house with her. It was brilliant. I thought it's just lovely to see it going the other way. But as I say, again, a nice short little match. It was lovely, built up, and I honestly do think. I mean, I've said it before that like Xia Brookside to me can be what Bailey was in the early days of the main NXT roster. Is that sort of young girl that other young girls could look up to and go, I'd like to be her.
Yeah.
And so actually telling that story of, good can beat evil, you go, great. All the young women would love to be like that. But it was really, really, I thought it was a nice wee match, and it's a lovely way to take it.
Yeah, that was a big win for her. I guess the biggest win of her career up until this point, I would say. And hopefully one step closer to the title and Kaylee Ray. I think we got a couple of years before that. I think she's still got a little ways before she carries that flagship. In the women's also, Aew Valkyrie, excuse me. Did I say that right? It's Valkyrie. I got that part right. I know. She defeated In Action with a jumping axe kick. She remains undefeated, Gary, and they pointed that out. But I'm just like, come on, who's she fought here?
Yeah, I mean, it was funny the way through that when they had her match that they were giving her the old she's lost her confidence, because I noticed that gimmick the last couple of weeks. She's mentioned that, and it was played up during the match, and then all of a sudden she got it back and won. So you know that's going somewhere in the next couple of weeks. It might be that she gets a big match and loses it or whatever. But I'm really good to see, as you say, she's been unbeaten for so long that you knew Lana Austin, it was never going to be her time. It was always going to be Aoife. But I can't wait for them to give Aoife a bit more push, because she's absolutely fantastic. She really is a lovely girl too.
Yep, and speaking of In Action, Tyler Bate defeated In Action, but this In Action had a very, very familiar body chemistry, body movement. His European uppercut looked awfully familiar.
Like the funny thing was, as the match was going on, and I'll not drop Ryan in it, but Ryan had messaged me and he was like, who is this? Do you know anything about him? I don't know him. And at first I was thinking, no, neither do I. But I was thinking, he does look very familiar. And then I looked up and I was like, that's who it is. It's William Regal Jr. Oh, this is who this is. Okay, it's Regal's son. And actually, the thing is, although they were treating him like one of the, quote, sort of young lions of NJPW type thing, that he lost and Tyler Bate beat him, the commentators and even Tyler Bate afterwards were putting him over as a big deal. As if, like, between the whole shake of the hand and the respect and the commentators saying that, that this is somebody that they have their eye on over the next couple of years, that they're going to be just slowly but surely building up and making a mainstay of the show, I would imagine. So it was a good showing from him, but I was glad to see Tyler Bate get another win.
Yeah, and then Tyler Bate, he went to, I don't know if it was Scala or Johnny Saint. He wants more competition. It was announced that in 2 weeks, not this Thursday, but the following Thursday, he will be taking on Bomber Dave Mastiff. But this Thursday, he's going to be on the Supernova Sessions with Noam Dar. This is now his second appearance on the show. Any thoughts where this is going to be? Last time he kind of fooled around with him and a kid, and it turned into a Heritage Cups match. But he has the match already set with Bomber here, so.
Yeah, I mean, we were saying as we were saying in pre-production, it was like I was surprised that they announced the match with Dave Mastiff before they announced the Supernova Sessions. So you almost think that there's going to be something else in it. Maybe Shah Samuels comes back and they set up a tag, or I don't know, whatever. Okay. But so something will come up out of it. But I honestly can't. It's the sort of thing now for me. Every time I hear that Supernova Sessions is coming on, I'm like, hey, I have turned that corner. I have turned that corner. I can't wait. But there's a point to it. Something big's going to come out of it. So,
yeah. Also, they also announced in 2 weeks' time from now the first ever NXT UK, the first ever mixed tag team match with Ginny and Joseph Connors, who are now calling themselves Team Mehaffy. They're going to be going against Piper Niven. Jack Stars. I
know.
Okay. I feel bad for Piper on this. I like Jack Stars, but NXT resident punching bag, Jack Stars. We'll talk about that next week. I want to know about more. If I got this guy's name right, I don't know. There was something I think maybe in German before in the promo, and then they ran Devim Edensek.
Yeah, I want to say.
I don't know if that was his name or if that was something in German that means like cool guy. I don't know what that.
There was some stuff in German and there was some stuff in Turkish and there was some stuff in English. I know there was something at the end that said to be continued. So whether that meant that, I have read somewhere that his name's going to be Metahan or Metahan, I think, or something like that. I know he was the artist formerly known as Lucky Kid, obviously, which I noticed he got into his promo because he talked about like. Let me tell you a story. There was a lucky kid who was living, and I thought, very clever. Okay. So that's it. It's a former lucky kid, who is very, very good. A German guy, very, very good, and it will be again another good signing. They're making some very, very good aggressive signings in NXT UK, and he's going to be another one that's going to be one to watch.
Okay. So we'll be seeing him soon, and then we have 3 matches coming up. The first one, Ilya Dragunov kind of blames Sam Gradwell for what was happening a few weeks ago when Ilya snapped on Tyson T-Bone. Gradwell said, well, why don't you try doing that to me? So here we go on Thursday. We got Dragunov and we got Gradwell. How do you think this one's going to roll?
I think it'll be much the same again. I think it'll be competitive enough and they'll both be laying it into each other. But I think when push comes to shove, Ilya Dragunov will snap and will go mad at the end of it again and then try and do the old I'm so sorry routine, but I think it'll be much the same.
I'm going to go the other way with this one. I'm going to say Gradwell sneaks out a victory, which causes Dragunov to snap. Okay. I think we're in agreement. The point of this match is for Dragunov to snap. Yeah. It's just how it's going to happen, and I think a Gradwell win here, and then still now he's going to be chirping more and more and more in his ear, so I'm going to go with the same thing. Okay. It looks like Kenny Williams is back to being 100%. So Amir Jordan's like, let's get at it. They're going to go after Oliver Carter, not Caden Carter, not Wes Carter or Nash Carter or Ben Carter. It's Oliver Carter and Ashton Smith next week in tag team action.
Yeah, I still think somewhere down the line they're going to split Kenny Williams and Amir Jordan in one way, shape, or form. And they've been pushed so much, and Carter and Smith haven't really been mentioned the last couple of weeks. But I'm going to go for Carter and Smith actually to take it, and then for Williams and Jordan to split up after it. So I'm going to run that every week. Every time they're on, I keep thinking it's going to happen this week. It'll happen this week. So this is my week.
Yeah, we're thinking this. And now what happened the last time is he threw him in the match with somebody he wasn't supposed to beat. I forget who Amir Jordan was in there against. And he got the win. So I'm kind of thinking, I think maybe this might be a failed sabotage attempt by Kenny Williams where Amir Jordan somehow sneaks out of it. And Amir Jordan thinks, he's like, oh my God, Kenny, we did it. You know, like we got out of this one, you know. You are the lucky, you know, like type deal. So it could go that way too. So we'll go that one. But like I said, this could just be, you could just sabotage them and be over. And Carter and Smith, you're exactly right. They haven't really done much with them, but they haven't, you know, they put them in big spots. They were in that number 1 contenders match, and they did pretty well in that. So going that. And then the big match that we were waiting for, Kaylee Ray, she's going to be putting the NXT UK Women's Championship on the line with Miko Satomura, who I believe is 1-0, and but you know she's not pictured. She did have the one match. Against Inaction and won. No, she wasn't. It was Isla Dawn. That we talked about, and she won. So, but this is huge. This was a match they had press conferences for. They're building the hell out of it, and this is the greatest challenge that Katie Lee could possibly have. And the whole entire division is going to be watching, and this is huge.
It is. And it's one of those ones that I can't quite decide what I think is going to happen because you do have Miko Satomura, who is amazing and is coming in with all this fanfare. And at the same time, you don't want her to kind of run over Kaylee this quick or whatever. I'm surprised they're putting her into the match this soon, to be honest about it. But given the fact that we had the tag title switch, I don't know that there'll be another one just so quick. And I'm going to say that Kaylee Ray beats her and kind of cements her legacy and gets the almost Miko Satomura nod of approval as being the woman to watch within NXT UK.
And I completely 100% agree with that. And I think we're still on the same page here. It's going to be Effie Valkyrie is going to be the one that catches Kaylee Rice. So we're just, like I said, I mentioned before, like, I don't mean it as a knock to Valkyrie, but it's like, all right, listen, you're undefeated. That's great that she's undefeated, but like, it's almost like there's the Isla Dawns and the Neela Samuels and the Ginnies, and now it's all like we're progressing, and she's still undefeated. You know, that's perfect. Now she's set up, and she's not fighting anybody. So. But I guess to be continued with that, we got all the time in the world for that match to happen, right? It's not like there's a takeover coming up or any type of thing, unfortunately. But I can't wait once they start firing up takeovers again for the UK.
I don't know. Be great. Can't wait.
Gary, thank you very much again for joining us. Looking forward to seeing you next week. Enjoy the show this Thursday, pal.
Thank you very much. I shall indeed. Have a good one.
All right, let's get this. Boom. And now we're going to bring back in John Smith.
Lashley.
Still chanting for Bobby
Lashley.
You kid because you love me, right, John?
Yeah, we'll call it that.
Yeah. So going from overseas NXT to stateside NXT, a match that was 2 weeks in the making. Santos Escobar was forced to have this match while he was stripped of the Cruiserweight Championship. Him and Karrion Kross went at it, John. Is this the greatest heel-on-heel action ever? Like, I don't know where this was. I can't think of anything else.
It could possibly be the best heel-on-heel match that I've ever seen. I mean, like, I was pissed 2 weeks ago when they didn't give us the match that they had promised us. But then, if they had given us that match, then it wouldn't have been a no DQ the following week. So you know what? I'll take the little bit of heartache from 2 weeks ago for how I felt last week watching this match. I mean, it was so well done between the three members of Legado and Karrion Kross. You know, the whole outside situation that took up almost half the match. Yeah. It was so well done. And, you know, once it got inside the ring, it was just as well done. And, you know, Santos didn't come out looking weak. He didn't come off looking scared. I mean, he did look a little frightened when Kross threw the two of them through the barricade, through the glass and everything, and knocked the wall down. But who wouldn't be a little afraid of that? Kross ended up winning the match with the forearm through the back of the head, just like he had promised us. I mean, I hope this isn't over between the two of them, but I could see it being between them for now. I'm not sure though.
And I'd be completely happy if it was. I don't know. You can say Santos Escobar really has nobody to fight right now. I don't know who else is. I guess that Kushida was my answer a while ago, but he got bumped up. I don't know if they're going to drop Kushida back down to the cruiserweight division but that would be an incredible match. I'm still been waiting on that one. So, but absolutely incredible. I'm not going to complain if it happens again, but that was absolutely a beautiful match. And kudos.
Yeah.
The show ended. That wasn't the main event. The show ended with Adam Cole pretty much apologizing to the Undisputed Era. Didn't mean it. So here comes Roddy Strong, and then here comes a low blow and a super kick and whatever, all the heel tactics. Because Adam Cole is he's a liar and the Bullet Club member, D-hole for life. And again, hashtag Pat was right. So that was how the show ended. It was a very long promo. It was drawn out and whatnot. The other story, this Kyle O'Reilly, he's out 4 to 6 weeks. So we're not going to see him for about a month or so due to the injury from the brain buster onto the stairs from 2 weeks ago. Ooh, what did I just do? So it's going to be a while before we see Kyle O'Reilly. But John Connie, the show opened. It was a non-title matchup between Johnny Gargano and Dexter Lumis. And the shenanigans, to quote James Wheeler, the Griswolds of NXT. This was absolutely just amazing. I mean, storytelling. This is great storytelling right here.
Yeah. I mean, you had 12 or so minutes of fantastic wrestling without any of the shenanigans, but they cram a lot into a little bit of space because right there at the end you had Johnny kind of motion to Austin to tell him to get a chair. He slid it in. Lumis wasn't having any of that. He beat him to the punch by stepping on the chair and then kind of kicking it towards the side. They went back at it for a couple more seconds, and Johnny feigned a knee injury. He was crumbling in the corner and pulling the referee towards him to let Austin get up on the apron again with the chair, and he had a clear shot at Loomis, but the Stockholm syndrome kicked in, and he hesitated, and that was just long enough for Johnny to say, "All right, I'm not waiting for this." He tried to hit Loomis from behind. Loomis stepped out of the way. Johnny runs into the chair. Austin goes flying. The chair goes flying. Eventually, Loomis gets his hands on Johnny. He hits a kind of a sit-out Uranagi, and he locks in silence for the submission win. And this group just keeps on giving, because even later we had a backstage segment with them where Johnny was still pissed at Theory and asking him, what's going on? What's the matter with you? All you had to do was hit him with the chair. And Theory says, I don't know, man. I just don't think it was necessary. I mean, he's just a misunderstood guy.
Yeah.
And Indy kicks in her 2 cents. He's kind of hot. And
yeah.
At that point, Johnny Gargano was apoplectic, and that's it. Austin, you're going to therapy. That's it. We still don't know who the therapist is going to be. I think it would be hilarious if Johnny was the therapist. But
yeah, that's where we're going. Yep.
Austin Theory is headed to therapy.
That's gonna be start calling him Austin Therapy from now going forward. That's gonna be the tongue twister. I botch a lot of words, and dyslexia as it is, that one's gonna be a tough one. But yeah, you summed that up perfectly. Gargano's again, they just shine on a weekly basis. I love it. Like, I get excited when I hear that music. So, John LeConte, we're gonna stick with you on this one. The Grizzled Young Veterans, they beat the snot out of the MSK backstage. So MSK is out for tomorrow night, but that Grizzled Young Veterans, they had a match coming up. I believe it was Shrek and Donkey, according to Zach Gibson.
You blew my line. Yes, heading to the ring. The Grizzled Young Veterans had the mics, and they I think it was Gibson that dropped that fantastic line. And so we had a real good match between the two of them for as long as it did run. At one point, you had Killian Dane, he's got one of the gentlemen in front of him. He's got somebody else in a fireman's carry, and he hits a Samoan drop fall away slam combo. But it all kind of went bad for Shrek and Donkey when Dane went to the floor. But Gibson, he pulled Gibson out after him and was messing with Gibson. This allowed Drake to hit a suicida that kind of took Dane out of the picture. And once poor little Drake Maverick was all alone in the ring for the Grizzled Young Veterans to do their thing, it wasn't very long before he got a ticket to Mayhem, and the Grizzled Young Veterans got the victory.
Yeah, and then after the match, Killian Dane was seen carrying Drake Maverick into the trainer's room, and there's Alexander Wolf, and I'm like, oh, that's probably the last person Killian Dane wants to see right now. And what was the comment, Johnny? I don't have it written down. What was the comment? Like, you used to be something?
Wolf used to be a monster. Up and down and went, you used to be a monster.
Yeah.
And it just kind of walked away.
And he walked away, and then Dane still tended to Drake Maverick. They said if anyone's going to beat up Drake, it's going to be him. That's his little, that's his guy there. So interesting to see. I would actually love a feud between those guys and Imperium. I think that would be absolutely great going forward. In the women's division, Io Shirai, our NXT Women's Champion, she had a non-title match against Zoe Stark. A big spot for Zoe Stark to be put in right away, and she shined. In a losing effort, Io Shirai got the moonsault. But this Zoe Stark, I'm a fan. I want her to succeed. She's going to be a nice addition to this. I can see her absolutely killing people in War Games, and I think that's where I get excited with this. I'm like, oh my God, she's going to kill somebody in that cage. Like, it's going to be great. Is it November yet? But then after the match, Toni Storm called for Io Shirai to go to Commissioner Regal to make the a championship match between those two, which I'm sure Io will probably do. Like I said, Io Shirai, that is the Mae Young Classic from a couple years ago. That was the final match where Toni Storm got the win. Xia Li defeated Casey Catanzaro. I don't want to talk about it. Kaden looks next. She's next. Xia Li declared Mortal Kombat on Caden, so I think that will be tomorrow night as well, and that's not going to end any better than it did for Casey. So good luck, Caden. Isaiah Swerve Scott was he beat up Leon Ruff before his match with Tyler Rust. So I say it again, Swerve is an absolute jerk. But then I guess in the trainer's room, Malcolm Bivens came up and he was having a conversation with Leon Ruff. So look for Leon Ruff to be Tyler Rust's next possible opponent. He wasn't trying to recruit him to Bivens Enterprises, but he's kind of just buttering him up that he tried to sneak in that win with Kushida and it didn't work. So he's got to go a little bit lower here. Okay, then go back up to this year. So he's going to Leon Ruff. He's going to try it there. See how he does that with that. John Smith, we had a little bit of a throwback to the old Ted DiBiase skits, the $1 Million Man. Everybody's got a price. And there was the infamous a couple things. I remember Rob Van Dam was in one of them. Obviously, he wasn't the one with the basketball. I can't remember what the skit that Rob Van Dam was in as a kid. Do you remember it off the top of your head, John DeConnie?
No, I just remember finding out that it was him and being quite surprised, but I do not exactly remember.
Yeah, what are the odds of that? You know, one of the kids, like on a Saturday morning, the kid ended up being Rob Van Dam. Anyway, but so Cameron Grimes seen the skit of Ted DiBiase trying to get this little boy, this kid is probably maybe about 6, 7-year-old, to dribble a basketball 10 times before DiBiase boots it and laughs hysterically. Like what an a-hole. But for Cameron Grimes, he has the money now to do this. So John Smith, you can take it away from here. It didn't work out exactly as it was planned in the beginning.
Yeah, apparently he hadn't watched the video ever. He had just heard about it because he was watching it for the first time, and he only watched the first 2 seconds. And after he saw him offer the money for the 10 dribbles, he goes, "Oh, I got this." Goes up to a few Performance Center wrestlers and offers them the deal for $1,000. One of the ladies picks up the ball. He's watching her dribble, and he's just dumbfounded that she actually dribbled it 10 times in a row.
Yeah.
And then he watches it in full for the second time, and he's pissed off at Ted DiBiase now for some reason. Then later on in the show, he offers the same deal to someone else, and they box him out when he tries to kick the ball away.
She can ball.
So he has to give them $1,000.
She could ball, man. Oh my god.
Yeah. Then towards the end of the show, he does it again to somebody, and he's so pissed at this point that before he even gets one dribble in, he just starts pounding the guy, and then he throws up probably about $3,000 in the air, tells Ted DiBiase to kiss his grits, and gets the hell out of there. It was gold. Everything this guy's doing right now is gold. I love it.
I can't wait I can't wait to see what he does tomorrow night. I don't know. I guess it maybe be another Ted DiBiase thing. I don't know what else. Maybe the Rob. I can't think of what the Rob Van. If anyone who's watching right now can just chime in, making a comment or something, of what Rob Van Dam did with Ted DiBiase. Like I said, we had one NXT Tag Team Championship match postponed due to injuries sustained by Wes Lee. The women are going to get at it though. So the first ever Dusty Cup champions tournament winners, Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez, they're going to be challenging Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. These women have not crossed paths with Nia Jax other than a couple of weeks ago in the ring. Dakota Kai and Shayna Baszler do have a history here. So that was a couple years ago. Dakota was a little shy little girl, and Shayna broke her arm. And then Raquel came, and everything changed after that. So it's an interesting dynamic, and it's just interesting where this is the first time ever like there's a Dusty Cup, and the winner gets a championship match. Do we give this to them because it's the first, or is it too close to WrestleMania? There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of things here that are taken into consideration in this match, at least from my end. Maybe you guys are having a little bit of an easier time with it. But John Smith, as our NXT senior correspondent, are we going to have NXT superstars represent the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships at WrestleMania?
I mean, I haven't been doing too well with my NXT picks lately, but I'm gonna go with yes. I think the challengers take this one. I think if they were smart, they would keep those belts on NXT because they have enough women there where you can elevate a lot more of them quicker if you have those belts around there all the time. And on a side note, RVD kissed the $1 Million Man's feet in 1987. I just looked it up.
There you go. That's exactly what it was. You paid him money to kiss his feet. There you go. James Wheeler chiming in saying Lex Luger's going to put Lex Luger to shame. I believe it's supposed to be shamed by power slamming Nia to win the tag team title. That would be absolutely crazy. John DeConnie. What do you got?
I'm going to say the title change happens just because I really, really want to see that. It can free up Shayna to eventually go after, one of the women's singles titles. Quite frankly, I don't care what happens to Nia, but I would love to see Dakota and Raquel run with those tag titles.
Yeah, I have absolutely no idea. I think they can go absolutely either way. I just hope if it does go Dakota's and Raquel's way that there is a championship match at WrestleMania, maybe like a fatal four-way, like we have like Naomi and Lana in one corner. You have Natty and Tamina, and then you can have the Riot Squad. You can have all three brands represented here because it's an inter-brand championship.
Absolutely.
I just want. I'm a huge Dakota Kai fan. I'm going to be cheering my ass off her, so I don't want to bet against her. So that will be that. James Wheeler also chiming in real quick. Just let him. I'm trying to be a good sport here. Where is it? There you go, boys.
That's right.
Lashley.
So James is on your bandwagon there. John DeConnie, speaking of new champions, whoa, they own the night, at least for another month, according to rumors, but we'll address that when we cross that bridge. It started with Jake something in a tables match with Diener, right? It was a tables match? No, it was a...
Yes.
Yeah, it was a tables match. And Jake something got the win with the Boss Man Slam. Great job by him. Moose comes out and decks him. And then he's back in the ring demanding a championship match. And then John DeConnie, you want to take it from there?
He basically
a resurrected title. I don't know what we're doing here.
Yeah, he speared Jake something through the table, then came in the ring with a chair, and it looked like it was going to be a really bad night for Jake. But instead, Moose just sat down on the chair and said that I'm hijacking this broadcast until I get my title match that I was promised. And Rich Swann was not cleared for activity that evening. So Scott D'Amore came out and said, okay, fine. You've been carrying around that TNA World Heavyweight Championship for a long time, and that means a lot to me because I had a big part in building that. I am now declaring that an official title, and you will defend it tonight in the main event against Jake something. So we fast forward to the end of the show, and Moose gets his champion's entrance. Almost did because Jake attacked him during his entrance.
Yeah.
And they fought all the way down to the ring. They fought back into it. It was a good showing by Jake. He managed to survive a pretty nasty, big-time superplex by Moose. He even managed to hit Moose with a pop-up powerbomb that I think he got a 2 count out of. But in the end, a couple of Uranagis, ripcord clothesline, and the lights-out spear. And Moose retained the championship that now is official. And after all that, Rich Swann, who we thought since he wasn't cleared wasn't even in the building, came out and attacked Moose. So now we're finally going to get that. I don't know if it's going to be a title unification or what, but that match, Moose and Swann, will finally take place at Sacrifice.
Yeah, it's just Rich Swann's title, right? Like the TNA Championship is on the line, so the Moose wins. Now we got this whole Kota Ibushi evil Tatsuya Naito thing. Double champion, Becky 2 belts over there in Impact. I don't know what we're doing. I think that might be the easiest thing is just like, okay, I got them both, and then just put them together and done and done. But we have 2 world champions on Impact at the moment, which is not unheard of. WWE's had it for a couple of years now, but they're on different shows. Like, they fight once a year. That's it. Like, that's really. In the X division, there is a 6-man tag team match where the winning team got to advance to a triple threat match to determine the number one contender for the X division championship. The team of Ace Austin, Chris Bay, and Black Taurus defeated Trey Miguel, Josh Alexander, and Willie Mack. Chris Bay got the win with the Art of Poor Willie. So here we go. This is what we have tonight. A number one contenders match with that winning team. It is Chris Bay, Ace Austin, and Taurus. Taurus is on fire. John DeConnie, who do you got?
I'm tempted to go with Taurus because as we've gotten inklings that that was the spot meant for Sammy Guevara, and that would have been a lot of fun to see Sammy go after the X title. But I'm going to stick with my earlier thought that 21 is the year of Ace Austin, and Ace will finally secure his X Division title shot.
John Smith.
I'm going with Black Taurus, mostly because I want it to happen.
So that's why I picked the NXT Women's Championship more than the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match for. I'm going Ace Austin as well. I'm not betting against Jersey. He never got a shot. I feel like they're making him jump through all these hoops. Chris Bay got the win last week. I don't think that was by accident. I don't think Taurus will be involved in the decision. I think Ace Austin is going to pin Chris Bay. It's either going to go that way or Taurus is just going to squash both of them. But I don't know how long Taurus is going to be around. He's not a contracted wrestler. I know, I saw the rumors. Other rumors get started. It was supposed to be Sammy, but Sammy didn't want to give up the belt if he didn't win it. If he won it, that whole song and damn whatever. I don't know if that's true or not. Didn't hear it from Sammy himself, so I'm not going to buy it. But I'm going to go Ace Austin on this one. Hopefully we got Ace Austin and TJB coming up at Sacrifice. That would be a lot of fun. With Chris Bay or Taurus, any one of these guys against TJB is going to be awesome. But it's figured might as well be Ace Austin. Then post-match, after the 6-man tag last week, Sami Callihan was again in Trey Miguel's ear. Trey started swinging this time, so that was good to see. But then also got a little smirk out of Sami as well. He's a sick bastard, so I feel like he's manipulating Trey to play right into his hands and his plan. And I'm assuming Ken Shamrock's record-breaking 8th suspension in the past 6 months is going to be up soon. So I feel like Ken Shamrock's going to be lurking around as well. Before we get into the it's gonna rival John DeConnie. The quote that Johnny Swinger had last week about that whole thing with I forget what the quote was. Chris Sabian's "I bleeping love this place, don't bleep this up," flat out cursing on Access TV. I need to address a rumor real quick. Apparently, that I am Johnny Swinger's cousin. I do have many cousins in this world. I have over 30 of them. Maybe Johnny's one of them. And of course, our friends at Minutes About Time. Yes, we do are strikingly handsome men. So there we go. I'm not going to confirm or deny I am related to Johnny Swinger. But the altercation that happened with there, apparently on BTI, which airs before Impact, I believe it stands for Being the Elite, is going to be James Storm and Rohit Raju. They are going to be going at it. Any thoughts on that one, or is it James Storm just going to whoop them?
Was that changed? It was supposed to be Saban and Storm versus Rohit and Shira.
1-on-1.
Okay. I think Storm will deliver a beating.
John Smith. I got Rohit with the assist from Shira because he was talking a lot of stuff to Shira last week after what happened a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, he was. So that barista coffee maker guy is back. John Sterling, on behalf of Brian Myers, he says that Impact is an unsafe working environment, and Myers has irreversible damage to his eye. and that's why he couldn't fight Eddie Edwards. So he card subject to change. Hernandez hopped in. Eddie Edwards got the job done after a Boston knee party off the middle turnbuckle. Took the middle turnbuckle knee party to take down Hernandez. Then we had a potential John LeConte, and God, I laughed and I smiled and I thought of you, the one person who loved that angle, the eye for an eye match more than anyone. It's a feud of the year. Have that win PWI feud of the year. They're joking to poke some fun at the eye for an eye match. They're going to do the match that was originally supposed to take place, Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers, but this time Matt Cardona will be the special guest referee. So, why wouldn't they do an eye for an eye match, John? Do you remember why D'Amore said no?
Because it's the dumbest thing anyone's ever thought of. What happens? 3 weeks later, the guy's eye is perfectly fine and popped out of his head. Who would do that?
He's probably the best backstage or like commissioner or whatever. He's the best in wrestling right now today. Scott D'Amore, he's been on fire ever since I started rewatching it. I mean, I always liked him with Team Canada and everything. He was always a great player. He's great. So who do you got in the match right now?
Oh God, I think I got to go with Eddie Edwards. You know, it's all set up to go against Myers. Maybe Myers pulls it out, but I'm going to go with Edwards.
John Smith.
Yeah, I keep disagreeing with you today, Johnny. I'm going to go with Myers.
Perfectly all right.
I don't know what's going to happen with Cardona's the ref, and he's got the beef. I think that's going to be the match of sacrifice. Obviously, I think that's what's setting up for Hawkins and Ryder to explode here.
Yeah,
but yeah, we'll go Eddie Edwards with a screw job. You know, Cardona's going to miss something. Myers going to try to cheat, and Cardona misses something, or maybe he sees something. I don't know. Yeah, so I'm going to go Eddie Edwards on this one, but it's going to be at the expense of Brian Myers, which is going to cause the Myers wanting to fight Cardona at Sacrifice. You know, Cardona kind of wants it already, but it doesn't look like.
This is Impact. We're all just throwing darts, really.
Yeah, no, right. But then once we find out the end result, we're like, oh my God, it was in front of our face the entire time. And it's all going to circle back to Wrestle House, you know? Like, Decay had an interesting message. John, the resurrection of the Death Dealers.
Yeah, that's a bit before my time as an expert in Impact. So I don't know if that's referring to someone in particular, but apparently the first step along that line is the X Division title. So they seem to be all in for Taruts.
All right, so Nevaeh, once again, she's going to need more time to decide on whether she wants to team with Havoc. I'm sorry, I'm already laughing about this. You know, I think you know why this just won my heart. Tennille just happened to be listening again. And she's got some ideas to be a tag team partner, because when you spell Havoc, normally it's with a C, but Havoc with a K. So you got Havoc with a Caleb with a K, Karl with a K. That's it's just so meant to be. So to be continued with that. Another match that was there was a tag team match last week where Jordynne Grace and Jazz, they defeated Kimberly and Susan to become the #1 contenders to the Knockouts tag team titles. Jordynne Grace hit the Grace Driver on Susan. They found out that ODB, who was ejected along with Deonna Purrazzo, they were ejected and ODB was laid out in the back. They were just assuming that it was Deonna Purrazzo. So we're going to circle back to the summit here, John LeConte, where my girl owned your girl, and they're going to do it again. So who do you got in this one?
I'm going to go, because there's no points on the line. You know, I'm going to go with Jordynne. But will I be surprised to see Deonna win? Absolutely not.
Oh, John Smith.
Oh, Luther is the original Death Dealer.
That would be fun.
Interesting.
That would be fun.
And they are working together. Maybe you got Luther and Serpentico. That'd be interesting. I like that. John Smith, you're gonna have to be the tiebreaker here, because I'm gonna take obviously Deonna Purrazzo. She's owned Jordynne Grace the past 2 or 3 times they fought. It's not a title, so I can actually see Jordynne winning this. So I'm just not gonna say it.
Yeah, it's non-title. I got Jordynne.
Yeah. And then, which will probably be the main event, there is an 8-man tag. Here goes Impact ripping off AEW again. And here's an 8-man tag team match. We got the Good Brothers teaming with their young boys from New Japan, who are not so young anymore. The team of Juice Robinson and David Finlay, who loves to fight. They're going to be going against Reno Scum and Triple XL. So the Good Brothers got the win over Triple XL. They got the Magic Killer on Larry D last week. John Smith. I feel like Reno Scum and Triple XL, that's like your dream 8-man team in Impact right now.
Absolutely, and they're going to get their asses kicked.
John the County. Ooh.
You know what? We've been disagreeing the whole time, so for a goof, I'm going to go the other way. Whether the Good Brothers just walk away from ringside because they get pissed off at Finn Juice, or they do something stupid that, obviously either, it's going to be the New Japan guys that take the pinfall if it happens that way. I certainly don't see the Good Brothers getting pinned here, but it just seems like eventually they're going to lock horns, Finn Juice and the Good Brothers. So this would be a good spot for them to mess things up, cause a little heat between them.
All right, they have the match in hand, and they're tagging the other guys in. Carl Anderson wants to win, so he tags out David Finlay. Yeah, this feel like it's setting up for sacrifice. I'd like to see the Young Bucks come out and just super kick everybody. That'd be fun. So we are going to give you guys another break real quick as we bring in Ryan Joy from MinutesToBellTime.com and the host of the Daily Wrestling News Show. Ryan, how are things, pal?
Busy, but great, right? I mean, it's a lot of wrestling going on right now. And
there is a ton, and now you have, I joked around saying it was a 50 or 60-man tournament here. This is like New Japan's version of March Madness coming up. Well,
it's funny you say that because in your inbox right now are brackets for you to fill out.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Gotcha. I'm in.
So do enjoy that. I'm putting a 1 point for round 1, 2 points for round 2, 3, 4, and in the finals you'll get 8 points. So
there you go. I'm in.
Yeah. What we're talking about, 30-man tournament. It's an annual tournament New Japan does every year. It is for an opportunity to challenge for the heavyweight championship. But there's a whole lot of news coming out of New Japan, and that's in the last week, things have really changed. And I guess to start with, the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion got a torn pec, and he had to relinquish his title. He also had to relinquish his opportunity to challenge for the junior tag titles. Desperado came in. He took the vacant championship. He took the tag team championships using the vacated slot to challenge. So Desperado comes out a winner in all of that. And then this Thursday is New Japan's anniversary show. So in the anniversary show, the newly crowned junior champion faces the heavyweight champion. And there you see Kota Ibushi versus Desperado. That's going to be your main event on the anniversary show this Thursday. Now, Kota Ibushi is far and away going to be my pick to win that match. However, the story doesn't end with that, because Kota Ibushi has been carrying around the double championship, the Intercontinental Championship and the Heavyweight Championship, and he has wanted to merge the titles. So Tetsuya Naito took one last shot at splitting those titles up this past weekend. He didn't succeed. So New Japan has ruled that those titles will merge after this title defense. And so they're taking the Intercontinental Championship and the Heavyweight Championship, and they are making the World Heavyweight Championship. So that aside, we have to determine the next challenger for the Heavyweight Championship. And to do that, we have a 30-man tournament. It's too big for just one graphic. So we start with the left side of the house. You can see Evil is getting a bye in the first round. It is a situation where he won the New Japan Cup last year. So he is getting the first round bye.
Yeah, I had him in my first round bracket, so that's 1 point for me, right?
There you go. You get 1
Yes,
point.
nice. Nice.
Everybody will get that same point.
Yes.
So your favorites on the left side here, obviously Evil, Naito,
Yep.
Tai Chi, Okada, and you could throw Kenta in there or whatnot, but I think it's probably you got Okada, Naito, and Evil, one of those guys. And so from my perspective, this is probably Okada all the way through if he makes it out of the first round, because he didn't draw a very easy first round going against Shingo Takagi. So, but you see at the bottom, Juice Robinson and Kenta. That should be a fun match. And that's two guys that are really in that IWGP United States Championship picture. So,
yeah.
So I like Okada in this bracket. And then on the other bracket, the right side, which looks very, very similar for Tanahashi, you can see him at the top. He has a bye because he is the current openweight champion. So
I got that one wrong. My bad.
Oh, you didn't pick him. Okay.
No, I didn't pick him.
So Tanahashi, he advances to the second round immediately. Now in this bracket, Tanahashi is a favorite. Jay White is a favorite. And as you go back down through, most of the guys in the middle, probably not what you'd consider favorites to win. Although maybe Sonata could make it all the way through. That wouldn't be out of the question. Zack Sabre Jr., he's listed as ZSJ. He won this tournament a couple of years ago, so he could possibly surprise us and come all the way through. But I like Will Ospreay on this side. I think he is going to go all the way to the finals, and I think he will beat Okada in the finals, which is a Wrestle Kingdom revenge tour for him. The Empire, his faction, newly formed faction, has been beaten down all year. They've hardly won any matches. So I think this is kind of the reward for that punishment. Ospreay gets the win here. He'll make an excellent challenger for Kota Ibushi. They had a Wrestle Kingdom match 2-3 years ago. It was very good. The Wrestle Kingdom opener a couple years ago for the Never Championship. So
yeah, you mentioned Sonata there. He made it to it wasn't Evil Sonata was the finals of last year's. I know it was delayed because of the pandemic, but I do remember talking with you specifically. I think you were on air for that. I know we talked to G1, but I don't remember us. I think we talked J Cup as well. I watched a lot of that, and I think Sonata made it to the final. Is Evil and Sonata in the final?
Well, Evil and Sonata were finalists towards the end of the G1. They weren't all the way, but they were in the last few matches. But yeah, Evil and Sonata wrestled last year in the New Japan Cup, and Evil won. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's a good possibility. That potential ZSJ versus Ospreay round 2 match should be insane. Yeah, that's true. And that's likely to happen because there's really no chance that Tenzan is going to beat Ospreay, and very, very small chance that Gabriel Kidd, who is a young lion, is going to get a win over Zack Sabre. So that is going to be within a 98% confidence level. It's going to be your second round match. And those two guys, you have a technical wizard versus one of the best high flyers, if not the best high flyer in the game.
Yeah, for those of you who don't speak New Japan, I believe Tenzan is A-Train, correct?
No.
Oh,
A-Train, what was his name?
Tenzan.
He's A-Train is a former IWGP champion, I believe.
Tenzai.
What?
Tensai. Tenzai.
Oh, okay. Tenzan, different person.
Yeah, I know it was. I just figured I'd just throw that joke there. I know a little bit of New Japan,
Yeah.
So anything else going on? I know Ring of Honor said it has a pay-per-view coming up. Is anything else going on? MLW, anything else is going on?
Oh, yeah, tons of stuff. Like we said, lots of wrestling. Ring of Honor over the weekend, we had new tag team champions crowned. Jay Lethal and Jonathan Gresham lost the titles to Kenny King and Dragon Lee. So we have new champions there. Shane Taylor unsuccessful in his pursuit of the Ring of Honor World Championship. And the Major League Wrestling side of the house, that'll be tomorrow, 7 p.m. before Dynamite and NXT. Jacob Fatu defends the World Championship against Jordan Oliver. This should be a clean victory for Jordan Oliver. For Jacob Fatu. I believe we're headed towards Jacob Fatu versus Myron Reed, which would be Oliver's partner. So that'll probably be the next legitimate defense of the championship for Jacob Fatu. We also have tag team title match on that same show. Los Sparks versus Simon Gotch and Daivari.
Really? All right.
Yeah.
Davari's everywhere lately, huh? Wow.
Daivari and Simon Gotch is the guy from the
Yeah, we know the vaudevillains.
the vaudevillains.
We know the
Not in
vaudevillains.
English, the other guy.
Yeah, I know, right? The guy with the mustache.
Right.
All right, Ryan Joy, we are going to bring back in John Smith and John DeConti, and we're going to get into AEW Dynamite. Whoa. Now, John DeConti's live. You don't like my singing?
Like the fuse and whatnot.
Oh, no, the song in there. Light it up like dynamite. Okay, so we got a couple of matches to pick on Dynamite before we get into Revolution. Here is the overall card. We want to do this first? Let's do this first. Screw it. So the first match we're going to pick right here, we got Cody Rhodes and Jade Cargill. I'm sorry, Cody Rhodes and wow, I typed that completely wrong. Cody Rhodes and Red Velvet is going to be going against Shaq and Jade Cargill. Ryan Joy, who do you got on this one?
This is really tough to call because I don't know how they're going to play this out, but I'm going to go ahead and pick Cody and Red Velvet. No points here.
All right, yeah, no points on the line. This match should have been on the main card, but when they moved the show, I guess there was a conflict with another pay-per-view UFC fight, I think, or a boxing fight or something like Canelo, right? When they moved it to March 7th, that is the same night as the NBA All-Star Game, which Shaq has to work. So they're doing it on this night tonight. So John DeConti, you got Shaq getting the pin. You got Cody getting the pin on Shaq. What are we doing here?
I got Jade getting the pin on Red Velvet, assuming Big Show doesn't get involved.
There you go. The Big Show will be there. That was on the list, John Smith. Like I said, well, it's the Paul White.
That's a possibility because Cody's booking it, so Cody's winning it.
Yeah, I'm going to go Jade Cargill as well. I think she's the one that's been the aggressor in this whole entire thing. I think she would have had the win over Brandy if Brandy was actually not pregnant at the time. You know, it was supposed to be her, not Red Velvet. But I think this is all to get Jade Cargill into this mix. We had a 6-man tag team match, John Smith. We got Jurassic Express against FTR and former legendary Hall of Fame tag team champion Tully Blanchard out of retirement for a Spike Pile Driver.
Yeah, I like. I think this is a coin flip actually, but I'll take FTR.
All right, John DeConti.
Yeah, I suppose if Tully's going to bother to lace him up, they'll get the win there, FTR.
Ryan.
Yeah, same thing. I think Tully Blanchard gets the pin over Marco Stunt, and I think we're headed back to FTR versus the Young Bucks before long, I think.
Nice. Okay, so going into Revolution, here are our overall standings. Last we left, myself and John DeConti are in a first-place tie. I put his name, normally in a situation like this, I'll put myself first, saying it's alphabetical by first name. That is not the case. I'll give it to John DeConti based on percentage points because I picked a couple more matches than he has before he joined our lovely show. Brian Joy sitting in the 687 mark. John Smith, 645. Tyler down in the basement, 555. As far as AEW goes, I got a nice sizable lead here, 45-15. I'll take that. What is that, 75%? I'll take that. Brian Joy with 85. John DeConti, Honest Tail with 83. Tyler with 80. John Smith 79. So we got a nice little cluster right there. Anything can happen going forward with
bottom of the list, second most wins.
Second most wins. Me and you have the least losses. How about that? So we have the final tomorrow night of the Women's Eliminator Tournament. It is down to Nyla Rose and Ryu Mizunami. For fun, we'll just call her the Miz because I'm picking her. So I got the Miz to win this one. I don't think they're going to run back Nyla Rose. So, but I think Sheeta's going to win this overall. So I guess we can put it up right now. You got the winner of that match will fight Hikaru Shida at the pay-per-view. Haven't really seen a lot of Shida so far this year. Like I said, there's a 1-0 record. We're already at the beginning of March, so that's 8 weeks. He's only fought once. So maybe it is time for a new champ. Who knows? Brian Joy, I'll let you lead right here. Who do you got in the tournament final? And then for the points, who do you got for the championship?
I think Rio Mizunami is going to win, and I think Hikaru Shida will defend successfully. I don't think that I don't think Nyla Rose is going to get another shot right here at pay-per-view. We've already seen Shida and Nyla at pay-per-view, and I think it would be too early to bring a new person in and just give them the title. So I'm going with Shida.
All right, John Smith.
I'll take Rio and then Rio.
Okay, so well, here's the thing: where you're gonna pick the Miz to win and then lose, and then she's gonna lose it to like Britt Baker 8 days later.
Maybe, who knows?
You had your chance to come poke another joke at me, John. You had your chance, you didn't take it. John,
give me Rio Mizunami in the finals of the Eliminator, because I think Nyla Rose would just take the air out of the entire tournament if we wound up with that same matchup at the pay-per-view. But I believe that Shida will retain at the pay-per-view.
all right, I have this at Shida winning as well. Okay, so they announced we have a Face of the Revolution ladder match where the winner will get a TNT championship opportunity. I believe there are 6 men who are supposed to be announced for this match. Last week, Lance Archer defeated Rey Fenix to qualify. Cody Rhodes, Penta L0M, and Scorpio Sky were just directly inserted into the match. Tomorrow night, we have a match with Alan Angels, number 5, which is Little Brody Jr.'s favorite wrestler. We cannot look past that fact.
It's 10.
That's 10?
No.
All right, let's go then. All right, against Max Caster. So, John Smith, I believe. Wait, hold on. Brian, I'm going to go with you first. Max Caster, is he the one from the Acclaimed that raps, or is he the one that just carries the boombox?
He's the one that raps.
Okay, I'm going with Alan Angels then.
Well, Alan Angels not in the match.
Who was it?
It's Preston Vance versus
Preston Vance. No.
Max Caster. Yeah. And Preston Vance is -1's favorite wrestler. So you had most of your facts all correct.
There you go. I had it wrong in my notes. I'm sorry.
So I'm going to pick Caster to win because I think that there's a lot of momentum behind him. And I'm going to pick Sean Spears as your 6th guy, and to win the whole thing. I like Sean Spears to win it if he's in it, and if not, then I don't know.
Yeah, whoever the mystery 6th person is, that's exactly where I'm going. I got bitten too many times on trying to be like, you know what? And Scorpio. I always been on Scorpio Sky, and then it's the mystery opponent. Scorpio Sky. It's Scorpio Sky's time. No, it's Brian Cage or it's Lance Hart or whoever. John DeConnie, who do you got in this one?
All right, I got Caster winning against 10. And as far as the ladder match goes, give me Lance Archer just because he's, the guy I least see skillfully climbing a ladder. So.
Yeah, John Smith. So we got by the end of tomorrow night, we're gonna have 5 guys in this. We don't know if they're gonna announce a 6th one or not. Could be Paul White, could be Sean Spears, could be Larry D.
What if it's Lars Sullivan?
It could be Lars Sullivan. I gotta get it. Name. Gross.
Puke emoji.
Yeah, I already deleted it. Yeah, who do you got?
I'll take Caster also, and then I'll go with the mystery guy. That's usually how they work it. Whenever there's a mystery guy involved, they usually win.
Okay, and then to get even more confusing, they have a tag team casino battle royal. It's not going to be like a standard casino royal battle royal with AEW where it's 5 guys at a clip. It is going to be more of a Royal Rumble style where I believe it is 60 or 90 seconds, right? Where do they come out? This is the rules.
Yeah. something.
Somewhere in that area. And then another team will come out. It's individual eliminations. So if John and John are tag team partners, if John the Connie gets eliminated, John Smith can still win it. So here are the teams that they have announced. They have, was it Bear Mountain? And I believe one of those guys is rumored to be Santa Claus. Travis kind of killed me with that this morning. We have two teams of the Dark Order. We have Uno and Grayson, their standard tag team. We got Reynolds and Silver, their tag team. Santana and Ortiz are going to represent the Inner Circle. The Butcher and the Blade will represent the family, Eddie Kingston's family. Mark Quinn and Isaiah Cassidy of Private Party, they will represent Big Money Matt Hardy. And then Top Flight will be in it as well. That is 7 teams. Ryan, is there? I know is that with casinos and stuff like that, they this is where the big announcement. But if they already have a mystery person in the ladder match, I kind of feel like it's just going to be this 7.
Well, no, maybe I think they even said that this was not the full list of teams. So I don't know exactly what they're going to do. But the team that's been kind of recently resurfaced, that's in the news a little bit, is Enzo and Cass. So that could be a possibility. Travis and I were kicking that around post-show today. So that's a possibility of a team that you could see. But you also have all these relationships with New Japan and Impact and all that. So, you could have all kinds of different teams in this, including the Good Brothers themselves. So having said all that, I guess if I have to pin myself down and make a pick, I'll pick the Good Brothers.
All right. Gotta make sure I put some question marks on this sheet then. As they announce more teams tomorrow night. John Smith.
I like the team with John Silver.
Well, there you go. That's exactly what I'm with Reynolds and Silver. I'm with you on that. It's time for Johnny Hungy to get some of that payday. John DeConnie, who do you got?
Yeah, there you go. We couldn't get together on a pick and Impact, but I'm right there with you on this one, Reynolds and Silver.
So you guys can't agree on a one-on-one match, but when you have a battle royal with limitless teams with 5 different companies that are working together, you come up with John Silver and Alex.
I just love that angle so much. I just want more John Silver in my life.
Exactly. It's white hot right now. You can't freaking get over it. Okay, so back to the graphics. Where we go to? No, we don't have a graphic for this one. All right, so Miro and Sabian they challenged Chuck Taylor and Cassidy via a junior high school love note. Yes, no, or maybe. Chuck and Cassidy replied yes. So we have a tag team match: Miro and Kip Sabian versus Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. John DeConnie.
Oh God, I so want to pick Miro and Kip, but I just feel like Cassidy and Chuck are going to find a way to piss them off and come out with the win here.
John Smith.
I like Miro to win this one because he needs to start, being the monster he truly is, and I think he's gonna come out and destroy them.
Okay, Ryan Joy.
Sexy Chucky T is taking the pin here.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I got Chuck and Cassidy here. I feel like Miro's going to dominate, and something's going to happen, and I think like Cassidy's going to hit the beach break on Kip Sabian. There's going to be some type of retaliation other than the wedding, like some type of in-match, in-ring retaliation for putting Chuck Taylor through all that hell. So I'm going to go with Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy getting the pin on Kip Sabian. Maybe Rusev wrecks everybody after the match, but there's no way Rusev's getting pinned anytime soon, unless he's fighting Cody, right, John Smith?
Of course.
Adam Page defeated Isaiah Cassidy after a deadeye last week. Matt Hardy then threw Alan Angels off the stage through a table. There was supposed to be a 36-man tag team match tonight on Dynamite. They dumbed it down to just a tag team match. Ryan Joy, I believe it's Matt Hardy and one of the members of the Private Party, Mark Quinn, against Adam Page and
Silver.
John Silver. That's the dream team right there. But then at the pay-per-view, again, we had the big money match where the winner will take the loser's first quarter earnings. There you go. And I'm gonna screw up Austin Therapy too. First quarter earnings for 2021, as opposed to the contract that Adam Page slipped into Matt Hardy's jacket or signed or whatever that bar scene was. John Smith, who do you got on this one?
I got Page winning this one because Matt Hardy is gonna lose his money, and I can't think of anything funnier than Matt Hardy reacting to losing this match.
Okay, if that's the case, John DeConnie, do the contracts change? Like, does he get a bigger percentage of Private Party's money now? Like, is it up to 50% in AEW, 70% third party? Like, does it get up?
I was hoping that that was what was going to be, the sneak contract was going to be Hangman buying them out of their contract with Matt Hardy. But yeah, I could see him upping the percentages now. He's got to win back some of that money. But because I have Hangman Page beating Matt Hardy and taking his Q1 earnings.
Ryan Joy.
Yeah, Adam Page. He's not going to lose very many matches this year.
I think he's going to lose this one, though. I just think when there's money on the line, Matt's going to have a plan to make sure that he is not there's Matt's going to be thinking about this. There's a game plan. There's something going to go down, whether Private Party gets involved or TH2 or whoever. Matt's not going to let this money slip through his fingers. No way. So I have the sensei of Matitude. Jake Hager defeated Brandon Cutler with a running clothesline, and then the Inner Circle post-match attack. The Bucks came for the save, but then backstage we saw Chris Jericho and MJF with a bloodied-up Papa Buck. So by virtue of winning, what was it, a Battle Royal that Jericho and MJF won to earn this championship match, we have the Bucks defending against the Inner Circle. Ryan Joy, who do you got in this one?
Man, it sure does feel like MJF and Chris Jericho are going to win this, but I am going to pick the Young Bucks. I think they're going to hold on to those titles a little bit longer.
John DeConnie.
Yeah, I mean, I'm likely to go with Jericho in any situation, but it just doesn't feel like I think the Bucks they made it personal last week. So I think the Bucks are going to come out on fire, and I see them retaining.
I got the Young Bucks as well. Travis Simmons chiming in. He's got Santana and Ortiz in the Casino Battle Royal, and then MJF and Jericho. He's calling an Inner Circle Tag Team Championship match at some point. John Smith, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I like Jericho and MJF to win this one.
All right, I got the Bucks as well. Papa Buck beating up somebody's parent. That's great heel tactics right there. I saw an article or a headline of an article that Papa Buck was kind of upset that he couldn't actually blade himself for the shot. Like he actually wanted the blade for the and they wouldn't let him. So kudos to Papa Buck. Yeah, I'm going to go with Matt and Nick on this one because why not? Team Taz defeated the Varsity Blondes after a drill claw. Sting and Darby got some revenge from the week prior, the powerbomb that Sting took. This has been booked for a very long time now. This is finally going to come to a head. Team Taz, represented by Ricky Starks and Brian Cage. Odds are Taz and Hook will be at ringside. They will be going against the TNT champion, Darby Allin, and this new guy, Sting, this up-and-coming rookie. His name's Sting. John DeConnie, are you even giving Team Taz a shot here?
I just don't see... in AEW, I don't see you bringing in Sting to let him lose. So I'm going with Darby and Sting.
John Smith.
Yeah, probably the big selling point of getting him in there is we're not going to make you lose every match. So I got Sting winning.
That's exactly. This is if they make Sting lose this match, Ryan Joy. That's exactly what WWE did to him. I mean, aren't they supposed to be better than WWE? They're not going to bring Sting back just to lose. I don't care if it is a sledgehammer.
I don't know. I could see a scenario where he loses this match and somebody gets a pin over Darby Allin to set up a future TNT championship match, like, Ricky Starks or something. I mean, I think the smart money is on Sting and Darby winning this, for sure. But I could see a scenario where, Ricky Starks or Brian Cage pins Darby Allin. They're not pinning Sting, though. So
no, I feel like if you're looking at this, And it's just like, you get this Jack Diamond Cage and his natural talent with Ricky Starks. And Darby Allin's okay. He's a TNT champion. And this guy that's 65,000 years old. It's just like, how does Cage and Starks not win this?
Well, Luchasaurus is not in this, man.
I know, but Sting's 63, right? And great, and Sting looks great. I'm not taking jabs. He looks great. He took that power bomb. He's okay. He's gonna perform. He'll do great. But like, Starks and Cage should win this, and they're not going to. Does that bother anybody else here? Or no? Like, I mean, Sting is not Sting from 25 years ago. Goldberg's not either. That's when Goldberg's losing now too. It's not. But no, Sting's gonna win, because if Sting doesn't win, then all of a sudden AEW's no better than WWE, and they are not going to allow that. So, yeah, Sting and Darby Allin with the win. And then in the main event, we have Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega in a barbed wire explosion cluster bleep for the AEW Championship. This is a rematch from their title match at Winter is Coming. Moxley had a match last week with the Hollywood Hunk Ryan Nemeth. Hit the Paradigm Shift with the win. Moxley in a post-match interview saying, "I will do whatever it takes to get the title back." Anybody giving Jon Moxley a chance here? John DeConnie.
Not after Marvez walked in on Callis and Omega manufacturing the Moxley extermination chamber. I mean, these guys are not joking around. So give me Omega retaining.
John Smith.
Yeah, I think the outcome of this is so predictable that they're going to have to give us some sort of big surprise at the end. Either like somebody costs Ambrose 5 push-ups.
There you go.
Somebody costs Moxley in the match, or a big debut or something after the match, or somebody coming in and beating up Omega or something. But I mean, to have this as your main event and it be so obvious that Omega's not winning it, like, or not losing the belt. You know, they got to give us something to close the show out.
All right, Jonathan, staying with you real quick. Okay, so the argument can be said. Right, AEW, WWE, Roman. You can say same thing about Roman Reigns. Who loses their championship first, Roman Reigns or Kenny Omega?
Wow, that's I'm gonna have to go with Roman Reigns because it's pretty possible that he
about
loses
a year and a half to make this decision before we actually find out the outcome to this. But who do you got? I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, I gotta go. I said I gotta go with Roman Reigns because I think there's a distinct possibility he loses in 7 weeks at WrestleMania.
Wow. Okay. Ryan Joy, who do you have in your exploding barbed wire match?
Well, you know, in 2006, I was a resident of North Carolina. So I'll go with Kenny Omega.
Yeah, I gotta go Kenny Omega as well. All right, so I'm actually looking forward to the show. Revolution, it should be great. Like I said at the beginning of our show this evening, AEW has the habit of falling forward. They don't regress with their pay-per-views. Every time we watch an AEW pay-per-view, we're like, oh my God, that's the best thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And they've been doing that every single time. So look for this. John Smith, I think you're exactly right. Something crazy is going to happen at the end of that match. It might involve an explosion. It might involve barbed wire, but it might involve a surprise as well. Bullet Club members are everywhere, and AEW is in partnerships with everybody. So maybe like Tama Tonga and totally give me the Gorillas of Destiny for the run-in right here. That would be a lot of fun.
I will say I think this show is a lot harder to call than Full Gear was. Full Gear, I felt we could pick those matches pretty easily, and I think we all had really good records leaving it. This card's a lot harder.
I believe Ryan went perfect at Full Gear.
Oh, I did. But I think we all did well.
Well, that's humble brag. Why are you trying to sneak that in there? And I remember you. We are going to switch gears right now. We are going to go to my number 6 match of my top 30 favorite WrestleMania matches of all time. We're already down to number 6, which means we are 7 weeks away to WrestleMania. This match, near and dear to my heart, for many reasons. There was a feud back in 2004 between Randy Orton and Mick Foley. It expanded out to a 2-on-3 handicap match. The Evolution kept on beating the crap out of Foley. He made the phone call to The Rock out in Hollywood. Rocky came back to try to help him out. This match was a feud between Randy Orton and Mick Foley. And what happened was The Rock and Ric Flair completely stole this match. More so Ric Flair than the other guys that were in this. Absolutely amazing showing by the one guy that probably wasn't supposed to be doing anything in this match. Randy Orton eventually hit Mick Foley with the RKO with the win. This was the one time we got to hear Evolution music at WrestleMania, and 3 of their 4 members walked the aisle together. Randy was the Intercontinental Champion at the time. But if you look, when you watch the entrance to that music, it's still the respect factor to Ric Flair that he's in the center of the 2 younger guys, even though Randy was champion and it was his feud. Flair still walked down the middle of the aisle. Absolutely great match. And then the month after that, Orton and Foley completely tore it down in their Extreme Rules, no holds barred match where Randy ate some thumbtacks. And it was absolutely crazy. That match was absolutely great. That show, WrestleMania 20, was absolutely great. I'm jealous, John DeConnie. I believe you were the one that spoke about it for the WrestleMania week preview. What do you have to think? Then what was your thoughts on that match? You actually did the hype show. Give the fans a little bit of spoiler of what's going to happen WrestleMania week.
Yeah, that I enjoyed, especially the play between Rock and Flair. At one point, I think Rock comes off the ropes for the people's elbow, but he does the Flair strut on his way to him. It was a fantastic match.
Flair attempted the people's elbow too, and he did it. Woo, 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 yeah, like that. The Rock kicked up and his spine busted him. Yeah, it was. That match should not have been as awesome as it was. Like I said, it's place in my heart. Evolution music. Evolution got the win, but Ric Flair completely stole that match. So.
The Rock and Foley had a good promo earlier in the show too, where trivia question here is, who did The Rock refer to as the Hamburglar and Grimace?
Rosie and the Hurricane.
Very good, very good, John DeConnie. I'm not sure if you got that question right.
I think Rosie was holding a cheeseburger and he put it behind his back real quick.
Yeah, there were 2. There were. It was, what did he call Rosie and Hurricane, I believe, was the question. And there were 2 that were close. I couldn't remember which one it was, and I think I did go with the Hamburger and Grimace. I think I got that right.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to get a couple things and get us out of here so we can get in front of our TV screens in time for Impact. On to the giveaway. If you'd like to win this Jimmy Anvil Lionheart autograph picture courtesy of Sideline Sports and WWE memorabilia, all you have to do is go to this YouTube video. There's a link on the Facebook page if you're watching on Facebook. Hit the subscribe button on the I-95 Sports Networks. RKO that notification bell. Make the comment on this video with the hashtag EWPAnvil. We will be announcing the winner in 2 weeks. So make sure you comment on this video or next week's video or any of the videos. The past 43 videos, any of them will count. We will be picking a winner in 2 weeks. The Primetime Rundown, powered by StreamYard with Joey Jarzenka, Ian Schreier, and Rob DeLuca, is now airing at 6 p.m. on Friday nights as they take you through the world of sports right here on all of the Eastern Observer platforms. For more information, please go to theeasternobserver.com. Tune in to the Daily Wrestling News Show every Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. and get your morning cup of joy with Ryan and his band of merry co-hosts right here on the Eastern Observer platforms and the I-95 Sports Networks. Body Slam Brigade newsletter gets we're close to 4,000 subscribers, right, Ryan?
You're about 30 shy right at the moment.
All right, so we're about 30 shy of 4,000. Somebody do the math for me. Subscribers, get this every week. Make sure you go to minutestobelltime.com to subscribe to the Body Slam Brigade, which is by Ryan for you for free. Okay. Hang on. Every Thursday on the Eastern Observer, my column, my stories, my articles of the World Cup of Professional Wrestling. This week, We are in our second group of international action, as you see here, featuring Team England, captained by the British Bulldogs, who, along with Johnny Saint, Pac, and Paige, will be representing England. Find out who they will be fighting. Make your own fantasy matchups. Make sure you take this quick read. It's a lot of fun. We are almost at the group finals. We have 2 more weeks to go. I believe this is Article 6 or 7 of the 12-week piece. So we're coming down to it. It's been a lot of fun. A lot of great fantasy booking on this one. So please make sure you get to the Eastern Observer on either Facebook or just go to theeasternobserver.com to check out all of these articles. And there they are. The Black Cats NYC, their new album, Free Cake, is available right now on all of these media outlets, I guess they're called. Pandora, YouTube, Spotify, anywhere you can find music, you can get Free Cake by the Black Cats NYC. And this one is for the ladies. If you're upset with the whole process of putting on your eyelashes, let me tell you about these new magnetic lashes that my wife is proudly selling. Take a look at this picture of her. As you can see, they look just like the eyelashes that you put on, but with a magnetic eyeliner and 10 tiny magnets on the actual lash. The process is simplified and hassle-free. Please join Steph's Lovely Lashes on Facebook for more details on these amazing Tory Bell products. It's as easy as liner, lash, boom. Make sure you get to ProWrestlingPick'em.com, the proud sponsors of the Essential Wrestling Podcast. Make your picks for this week's Revolution pay-per-view. Join us in the Essential Wrestling Podcast pool, or you can create a pool with your friends. Now is a good time to join it. Check it out. Just in time, the new season starts right after WrestleMania. Please make sure you play along with us. We'd love to see how you guys do against us. And, of course, we'll be back here next week on Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Before Impact is on the air. For Ryan Joy, oh my God, I got the wrong graphic. There it is. There we go. From Ryan Joy from MinutesToBellTime.com, for King Kong Bundy and John Smith, along with Tony Storm and his new Eastern Observer Cup down on the bottom part of the screen. For myself, I am Al Karl with a K. John DeConnie, take us home. Oh, wait, hold on. Time out. Alexa Bliss, we love you. Tony, Tegan Knox, can't wait to see you back. She's got to be back soon. Can't believe she wasn't in the Rumble. That was a little disappointing. Can't wait to see you soon, Tegan. John DeConnie, take it home.
Thanks for joining us. And as always, we wish you the best in all your future endeavors.
Lashley, 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 Lashley.